hello there, and good day. Thank you so much for joining me. I am FrostPDP, and today is, well, it's February 25th, and Brigandine, the Legend of Runersia, which is over here, which is the game I am currently playing, is available on Steam. I know on Steam, possibly on other platforms, but definitely on Steam, for 80% off. That's like $7 until the 26th. In other words, today and tomorrow, this game is available for like super cheap. And with Brigandine Abyss coming out sometime 2026, if you're new to the franchise, this is the easiest entry point. I'm going to tell you why. One, you want the Steam version because it's got all of the game features that the other versions do not have. I feel like I'm talking extremely loudly, so I'm going to just check the options menu real quick and see if my sound effects went down like they were supposed to. I'm going to lower them even further because it's loud. So, what we've got going on, we're live by the way, is we've got a new Brigandine game coming out. We've got Runersia on sale. Runersia on Steam, you just download to your computer. It's installed. It's like 21, 22 gigabytes, so it's a big game, but it's there. It goes in your hard drive. It stays in your hard drive. You can play it with a controller just like this one. And you've got a full Brigandine experience. Plus, if you want to play multiplayer with your friends, single player multiplayer only, I'm afraid. This isn't Grand Edition. You can use Parsec. I have a whole video on Parsec and how to set that up and play multiplayer Grand Edition. Same principles apply for Runersia. I'm going kind of fast, but I just want to get this out of the way. Because this is a brand new thing. I haven't streamed Brigandine Runersia since my Shinobi campaign years ago. I haven't streamed Brigandine since my last video attempting to look at the cross mod. And this is a vanilla version of Brigandine Runersia. I know somebody's working on a mod. I'm going to pull up their name real quick if my computer cooperates. Somebody's working on a Runersia mod on the Brigandine Discord. There's a Brigandine Discord. There will be a link in the description. There's a Brigandine subreddit. There will be a link in the description. Who are you, person that is working on a mod? Sanige, Sanige, I think. Sanige, I don't know. But Sanige is working on a whole mod, kind of like cross mod, with cross mod very at the heart of it. He's temporarily calling, or they, I don't know their gender, temporarily calling it circle mod, but that's, I think, a placeholder and not a permanent. When that comes out, I will definitely want to play a campaign of that. What else is there to say? I'm Frost. Subscribe to the channel if you find Brigandine interesting. I'm part of the National Sarcastic Society today. And we're going to play until I basically have to go to physical therapy. So if it is 4:55 p.m. Eastern now, I'll be streaming for like an hour and a half, and that'll be the episode. What do we get through today? We'll get through some story stuff for Norzaleo is nice. We'll get through, hopefully get through organizing and maybe get a battle in, but I wouldn't bet on the battle. I know this isn't episode 1, and like you want to see a battle at episode 1, but time just may not allow this. As always, if the stream is a little glitchy, if anything's weird, let me know. Usually I upload battles as episodes. We're going to be doing something a little different. It seems people prefer longer streams. They can watch their own pace. I'm going to be doing that. And as far as scheduling goes, this might be a Wednesday thing. I don't know. We'll see. Legend of Runersia. Yes, I haven't seen the story more than once. We're going to go through the story stuff. I haven't seen Norzaleo's story. I've only done the Shinobi, and that was on my Switch. So I don't even have that unlocked yet.
つしか彼らはルーンの騎士と呼ばれるようになったのじゃ。やがてルーンの騎士たちはマナの力に追い立てられるように高みを目指した。剣と知力、魔法によって己の陣を広げ、必要とあらば敵対するルーンの騎士を打ち破った。いくつもの国が生まれ、そしていくつもの国が消え去った。その歴史は幾度か繰り返されることとなった。そんなルーンの騎士たちにとって最も大切なものが5つのブリガンダインだった。
Brigandine.
その
Okay.
鎧、
It's
ある
Brigandine.
いは装身具には
Sorry.
それぞれルーンの神から授かった5つのマナストーンが組み込まれてあったのじゃ。ブリガンダインを身につけたルーンの騎士はそれは他の騎士を圧倒したのじゃよ。大陸の覇権をかけた戦いは師匠ルーナジア戦記に克明に綴られ、同時に戦いを通して我らが知り得たある大切な真実も記されることとなった。だがあるルーンの騎士によってルーナジア全土が統一されると、師匠はまるでそれを見届けたように戦火の中に消滅してしまったのだ。この世界を訪れしそなたよ、今ブリガンダインは正義、高潔、自由、誇り、そして自我の5つ。そなたにはそのいずれかを身にまとい、あるいは身にまとうことなく歴史に倣い大陸制覇に向かう6つの道がある。そしてそなたがルーナジアの各地を手中に収めてゆくたびに、師匠ルーナジア戦記の失われたページはよみがえってくることだろう。しかるに統一を果たしたとき、そなたは知るのだ。このルーナジアで起きたすべての、そしてあらゆる物語を。
Okay, voice from the heavens. Runersia, year 781. 5 nations and 1 tribe. That's an interesting way to put things. Tribes can be nations. Plunge the land of Runersia into a new era of chaos. 6 rulers and the Rune Knights throw themselves into the flames of war, each with their own hopes and expectations. By the way, I should just point out, I'm going to play this, at least for the first few episodes, kind of in a way that's going to introduce new players to the game, right? I should have probably mentioned this earlier, but I've been making a lot of Brigandine guides lately, and I think the goal is to just, hey, let's have some fun. Let's onboard some people that are kind of new. I wouldn't say any of these, I don't know, game features are particularly, like, amazing. Like, you're not like, oh my god, I totally never would have understood that, but it's a pretty simple game, but it's a pretty fun game. So you'll catch on quick to most things. And I'll try to go through them as I do. If you have any questions, ask them in live chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. Come on, controller, stay on. Don't tell me you're low on battery. We're going to choose Norzaleo with this goofy-looking guy, Rubino. I think his name's Rubino. We're going to pick him. He is the country that the demo has you play as, so this is good for people that are just picking up the game after they've maybe played the demo and don't know what to do next. This is it. Ruler Rubino. He's the keeper of the Brigandine of Justice and heir to the throne of Norzaleo. Rubino's empathy for others and kind heart makes him loved by the people. He also possesses the strength of character to always do what is right. With the flames of war threatening to destroy his nation, Rubino IV steps onto the battlefield to fight in the name of justice. 5 bases, mana reserve 543, total knights 13, total monsters 33. Cool? Cool, this is what we're doing. Can I customize? Do I want to play vanilla? Like true vanilla? I want double XP acquisition rate just because, like, I don't want to grind. Quest success rate, no change. It's fine. Allow monster capture. Allow. Mana acquisition. All nations double the mana. It's my campaign. Yeah, sure. Revival stones from quests. I don't want too many revivals. I know this is kind of like whatever, it's fine. Yes, I am sure. Oh shit, I meant to skip the guide. That was wonderful, Prince Rubino. I simply cannot believe this is the first play you've ever written. Thank you for your kind words. Perhaps now my father will finally recognize my skills with the arts. With all these great women surrounding you like this, you already look the part of a great playwright, Prince. Hey, I'm a writer. This works. Lana, what are you doing? You shouldn't leave the dressing room with your costume on. That's just it. The lines are rather childlike. So this isn't too old for the role. Alright, so don't speak to the prince the way you've been spoken to. I'm debating if I want to read the Japanese lines over. It's kind of an accessibility thing for me. Like, you can hear it in Japanese, but you can't hear it in English. I usually read things myself. Indeed, a new writer certainly shouldn't object to anything that the royal troop's star actor tells them, right? Ah, ladies. Shizzler wants to talk to Rubino. Shizzler, what can I do for you? Your Grace, I do believe that there are some rather unpleasant patrons lurking in the stands today. What do you mean by unpleasant patrons? It is rather difficult to see the audience while on stage, but we have the ability to sense the mood of our patrons. You might call it an actor's intuition of sorts. Lord Shizzler, your fame precedes you. Not only that, but you are also one of our most prominent rune knights. Thank you for telling the player who you are.
そのそなたが邪悪な気配を感じたのであれば、ただごとであるはずはない。
If you say you sense something sinister going on, then there's probably a good reason for it.
王子、ルビーの王子。
Grados says, Your Grace, Prince Rubino.
グラドス将軍、一体どうしたというのです？
父王が。
It's your father, the king.
たった今。
The king is dead.
お亡くなりになりました。
なんですって？
That can't be.
おお、ノーサリオ。我ら正義をいただく王国の風よ。
I never felt like Jiu was a shinobi.
アエラム
I know I had her in my playthrough.
カタリシナ。我らの王、ルーンの神の庇護のもとに。
Alright, so she's praying that the king finds safety with the rune god.
外傷はなかった。
And no visible injuries.
し
Indeed.
かも警備の者たちによれば、怪しい者が近づいた気配はないと。
According to the guards, there were no signs of anyone suspicious near his chambers.
そんな。だって王様はあんなにお元気だったじゃありませんか。
I don't believe it. The king was in such good health.
いいえな、グラドス将軍にご無礼だぞ。口を慎みなさい。
Elena, mind your tongue. You're being rude to the general. How?
いいのだ。
It's quite alright.
シズラー殿。
Shizzler. I just don't know how to ever atone for allowing something like
こ
this
の
to
ような
happen.
不甲斐ない事態を招いた席を。
将軍、
General.
ルビーの王子。
父は人を
And
責
they
め
blames
る前
themselves
に
before blaming
ま
others.
ず己を責めよ。
You're the one who taught me
そう
that, General.
私に教えてくれたのは、
恐れ入ります。
I don't know what to say.
だが今は将軍はもとより警備の誰を責めても
At any rate,
父王は
blaming you
生きては
or
帰ら
any of the guards is not going to bring my father back.
シズラー殿が嗅ぎ取ったように、おそらくこの正義の国に何かしら邪悪な気配が近づいているのは、まず
Lord Shizzler sensed it himself. There's no doubt that something sinister is approaching a country of justice. Themes! Themes are an important thing in literature.
通りじゃ。
Literature has themes, and themes for Norzaleo are justice. So the king is dead, probably by assassination. We're gonna get justice for the king. Got it? Got it? Good.
自由。
どうなさったの？顔が真っ青。
ブリガンダインが。
Brigandine.
「王子、我らの正義のブリガンダインが何やら正義を脅かす気配を感じ取ったようですじゃ。
Your Grace, I believe our Brigandine senses the approach of something that threatens our justice. Yeah, like an assassin.
なんですって？
Are you sure? Says the shocked Pikachu, who looks like a very shocked Pikachu.
ルビーの王子、グラドス将軍、緊急事態であります。
Mr. Vito, General Grados, we have an emergency.
我が国の東方の拠点、ウォーレンがたった今、グスタバ神聖帝国に占拠されました。
I've just received word that our eastern base, Warren, has been captured by the Holy Gustava Empire.
なんだって？
It can't be.
グスタファめがかねてから不穏な動きをしておったが。
Those dirty Gustavans, they have made more than a few threatening moves as of late.
三西洋の死も
They're probably behind King's death as well. King being
シ
the
ズラ
title.
殿、こうなったらグスタファの関与を疑わないわけにはいかんじゃろうな。
Lord Shizzler, in that case, it would also be safer to assume their involvement.
それにこういった
These embers are going to spread to other nations as well.
他の国、いや このルーナジア全土に飛び火
They
する
may very well envelop the entire continent of Runersia.
王子
Your
た
Grace,
とえこの大陸
even
が
if the
戦火にまみ
continent
れ
is
た
to
と
be
しても
engulfed in the flames of
我
war,
らのノ
we
ーザリ
cannot allow Norzaleo's
その
flame of
正義の
justice
火
to
は
ever be extinguished.
決して消されることがあってはならん。我がノーザリオ王国とは因縁浅からぬグスタファ神聖帝
It's not
国。
gonna
そ
be
の
a good
蛮
time to
族が
talk.
何の前触れもなく我が領土の一部を占拠した。これはこのルーナジアの各地で起きている火種の一つに過ぎない。今我らの正義が危機に瀕している。火の手が我らを覆う前に我らは一刻も早くこの大陸の全土に正義の鉄杭を打ち込まねばならない。
We're going on a crusade! Gameplay and basic rules. The main mode is where you suggest select the nation power to play as, while you unify Runersia by occupying all the bases of the map. Other nations trying to conquer Runersia as well, they will not try very hard because the AI does not balance them that way. Be sure to monitor the map carefully as you guide your nation. If all your nation's bases are lost, then it's game over. Gameplay is divided into an organization phase, where organization is made, and an attack phase, where invasions occur. One season consists of the one organization phase and one attack phase. The organization phase is where you prepare for battle by summoning monsters, organizing your troops, and positioning them at bases for invasions or defense. A horse icon at the top left of the map screen indicates you're in the organization phase. For the organization phase, troops units will battle to control bases. Other enemy nations will also fight each other during this phase. Defeat an enemy nation in direct combat to occupy their base. If there are no knights in the target base, you occupy the base immediately. The sword icon at the top left of the map screen indicates you are in the organization phase. Okay, do we not know Brigandine? I mean, I know Brigandine. It's just going to be what it's going to be. The main map shows the distribution of power. That's fine. Move the map. Okay, cool. Place the cursor on a base to see its summary in the bottom left. Press the A button to open the base menu. Cool, cool. Buttons. I had to configure my confirm versus my back out button. So that's my one like custom switch there. You may summon monsters at your bases. We'll talk about summoning monsters. Organization phase. Year 781. So the thumbstick button on your right-hand side will zoom you out to a further out view, which I like actually. I like a lot. Or a continent view, which we're all familiar with. So one of the things about this game, right, just as for new people who are looking at this map going, all right, I know I'm the Blue Nation. Who am I at war with? You're at war with everybody. This isn't Legend of Runersia in Grand Edition where you have Carleon and Almechia allied. You're at war with everyone. The only question is who has adjacency to you. Right now we have a border with the Red Country, and we have a border with the Gray Country. What's that mean? That means they can attack us and we can attack them. You generally want to minimize the number of armies you have, and by armies I mean sets of 3 knights in attack or defense, so that you can create choke points. What that means is, right now we have 2 choke points. We have 2 borders to worry about. We have a southern border and our eastern border. Now what we're going to do, I'm just telling you this is how this campaign's going to go, is I'm going to have my strongest 2 armies. I'm going to have 3 strong armies, right? 3 armies. My A team, my B team, my C team. My A team is going to invade to the east. Why is that? You'll see in a minute. My B team is going to go to the south and invade the south. You'll see why in a minute. My C team is going to be with my B team, or with my A team, but it's not going to fight in the battles. It's just going to defend. So what I'm going to do, my A team is going to attack here at Warren. It's going to retake Warren. It's going to attack Greensglade. It's going to attack Druyug, which is going to be a hard battle because it's an enemy capital. And then it's going to circle back into Belferon. The only way that doesn't happen is if the AI gives me an opening where my C team can just go straight for Belferon. If the AI plays poorly, I will abuse it. Like, no. Come on. Meanwhile, my B team is going to be invading into Cornwern and sitting tight. It's going to sit tight until I have secured the castle of Belferon with a defensive team that can hold this border. You'll notice that I'll have tons of mana coming in. I'll have tons of castles to summon monsters from at my choosing. I'll be able to defend my entire nation with one knight here, one army there, and one army here. Then I can worry about other armies and other front lines. The idea is to create lanes that you can move along that the enemy can't, almost like a railroad system. I have a whole video called the Brigandine Lane Problem. Check it out. It's actually a little interesting. It's almost like math. It's like field math or something. I don't know. But like, for example, you can see how green, the Shinobi, right? They have a castle on their west and a castle on their east. They're defending with 2 knights as well. The larger nations like the Gustava Empire have one border, 2 borders, 3 borders that they have to defend. I don't remember who red is. I don't remember who purple is. Purple is like Mana Silesia Theocracy, right? So like, it's all about how you do it. I hope that explanation has been like helpful to somebody. I don't see a lot of people in chat, and that's fine. I don't expect people to be free during the middle of the day. But, you know, we'll go with what we're going with. So we're going to back out. We're going to go to look at our overall army. That's the next thing I'm interested in. It's going to give you a bunch of information about troops. I'm going to skip this just because I kind of know what I'm doing here. And I can explain it easier as I do it than trying to explain it through text. I want you to see what it's like to think about the process as I go. So my capital is Lancer. Sounds like Lancaster. On an island nation. What the fuck? No, it's not what I meant to do. Oh, by the way, we're going to save. This game allows you to save early and often. You can save after every move you make. Don't be afraid to have multiple save states running at the same time. I just wish you could name a save state. So in our capital, we have Rubino, who starts off at level 5. He's got a frost dragon named Lohengrin. I'm actually... Okay, so there's a character not in my next book. I'm a writer, by the way. I write, like, fantasy novels. There's a character in my next book after the book that I've got finished that I'm getting cover art for that I'm going to be releasing hopefully early spring. I'm writing a whole book where there's a character named Grail Lohengrin, because Lohengrin is the name of one of the Knights of the Holy Grail. And it's a complicated set of references, but it ends with that, right? The character's name is Grail Lohengrin. I've also got an Iron Golem. That's okay. That's not bad. What you want to do is you want to form 3 armies of 3 knights with decent stuff. The question is, do I have any healing here? And I don't see that I do. So I'm going to summon, and I'm immediately going to see, do I have a monster that I can summon that can heal? Oh boy, I can summon angels. Not what I was hoping for. Angels are great units. They just have a very high cost to have on you, and they cost a lot of mana, so... I don't know. Different castles let you summon different monsters. So I want unicorns, right? I like unicorns. So you know what you're doing? And yes, if you get a blue dot on a monster, it means it's a mana miracle. It'll have perfect stat growth. We're not worrying about that right now. You are being ordered. Yes, okay, I know how to move. You're being ordered to move to Lorenz. And the game will tell you you've got to move to... Why am I doing this? She has 2 ghouls, which are kind of filler monsters, at least early on. They're good blockers. They're useful harassers. But they benefit more when they level up more. And I have 3 unicorns. 3 unicorns is 1 unicorn for each army I would field. And an 18. And she's bringing me 3 unicorns to here, where I have none. Ooh. Right bumper selects and deselects. Got you. So what I'm going to challenge myself to do here is build the best... Ooh, Nightmare. Nightmares don't lose cure in this, do they? Ooh. I see what you're going for, game. I like it. Okay, I got this. I got this. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Rubino have magic. Rubino has the frost spell. He can cast it a grand total of more than 2 times. What else does he have? He has resist. Resist is okay. He's got some melee combat abilities. He's even got a 2-range icicle shot. His low accuracy. The frost spell costs 68 MP. He can cast it 3 times easily. So he can sit back in the 3rd row and just I have a video about army formations that I just released. Somebody tried to make fun of me on the subreddit for that, and that was cute. You can throw stuff from the back row. This is going to be good. This is going to work. This army actually works fine. Cool. That's an A-team army right there. Gift dimension. You get magic down, weakness, heal, cure. So my A-team army is going to be Rubino, Grados, and Giu. Just because they're my strongest knights, they can get me up and running really fast, and they can grind Rubino and the rest of these monsters a lot of easy experience. I mean, a lot of easy experience. Level 5 elemental I'll take. I also want to build these guys up. Imps become... I don't know what they're called. I don't know. We call them Hairy Fairies because they replace the role of the fairy in Brigandine Grand Edition, which is to have the React spell. React is a very powerful spell that gives you a lot of advantages in combat. You want a lot of React batteries, we call the strategy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Barrett Rookie Pick is actually a unique Rune Knight. And will be part of my B team. Make no mistake about that. In fact, what abilities do you have? You have a Landis Protection. Increases intelligence by 10 and recovers 20% of max MP every turn. When battle started with Elena. So, Pick has to hang out with Elena, right? That's how that's gonna go. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking I'm going to have to put a unicorn here. So I know that'll leave a lot of open, but like unicorn and a unicorn. Jiyu's army doesn't really need a unicorn. She's got heals herself. She has Divine Ray, Area Heal, Halo. No Holy Word. But Area Cure, which has a range of 4. That's pretty useful, actually. That's a new one in the game. And Halo can be useful when dealing with the Shinobi. She has Divine Ray. Got a cross-classer. Got her some levels in Mage so she gets Geno Fire at least. Or Frost, whatever it is. Lena's an archer? Nice! Pick is what you would call a Project Knight. Project Knights are level 1 knights that you look at them and they're like, their stats are okay, but they're level 1. Why am I going to grind them up all the way? And the answer is because units that start at the lowest level have the most room to grow, and growing through getting levels gives you more points than just starting the game off with more levels. So there is a reward to starting small and building up. That's why Lance and Leonice are so good in Grand Edition. I have just enough mana to summon this. I have just enough mana to summon this. No, I don't. Mana reserve. Oh, mana reserve 263. They kind of fuse rocks and griffins into one game here. There's one bird in this game. I know what I meant. I want Elena and Pick to move south. I want Rubino, Gratis, and Jiu to move to Lorenz. I want Shizzler to move south too. What this means is we're going to have a lot of knights left over that are extra that I can quest up. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip Mr. Level 12. Actually, he has less rune power than the other guy. Damn, just over. Giant snake! What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Move Jack back to Angerin so that he can bring down unicorns for later use. That's my plan here. Meanwhile, I have one full army already good to defend there. Thunder, nice. Regains MP with Thunder is pretty good combo. Ranged. With some decently thick stuff to hide behind. You know. Elena has a lot of firepower. She can burn things, but... I think I'll be alright. You know what? We'll actually go with the larger. He still wouldn't be able to fit that. This guy's a healer. This is a fighter. No contest, who I'm taking. Right, what do you got magic-wise? Loop, Holy Word, heal, cure. Little offense, a little defense. Lots of monsters I would just throw in the front lines and then let Elena and Pix just burn them down. Especially if we have a bridge defense. I'm not sure if Harmonia does or not, but it looks like it's on the coast. If it has a bridge defense or like a water defense, those sirens are suddenly really useful. So you're going to Angren to pick more units up. Go to Harmonia. I'm gonna start questing with Ferric, to be honest. Ah, shoot. You know what? I think you're moving to Harmonia anyway. So I think I've got everyone moving, right? Everyone in my kingdom is moving except for 2 units on this battlefield. Who mostly exist to feed my better armies, better units. I'm going to set them all up into one squad. Just so that they're set up in one squad. In case, like, I have a really weird situation on my hands. But I shouldn't. Save game! Save slot 1. End phase. Now you'll notice there is no castle where I have a border with an enemy that has less than 3 knights. That is a rule. Let's see what they sent over to Warren. Wow, Tim Gustav himself, huh? With a Mana Miracle Demon? Okay, this could be a really interesting fight, actually. with a Bahamut for a front line? Ooh, okay, we're getting spicy right off the bat. All right, he won't stay there. Meanwhile, Mua, dangerous. Okay. Talia, Toby, and Sid. Carla, Medessa, and Jose. Start with a high centaur. Nice. So the one thing you'll notice is that everyone's moved knights around. Nobody's going to be attacking. Remember, you cannot move and attack in the same turn. It's a very important note. Your Grace, I have prepared a report regarding the current state of each of the other nations. Thank you, General Grados.
誇りのブリガンダインを有するガイムール共和国ではアーデン大統領がなぜかこのところ表舞台に姿を見せていないとか。
Something strange is about in the Republic of Grimul, home of the Brigandine of Glory. President Alden has not been seen in public for some time now. There are also puzzling reports from the last few days of Rune Nights from all across the region, gathering in the capital of Garhar near the statue of Mohana Karadine, the creator of the Mohana sect of the Rune Church. So there's some like heresies taking place here, huh?
我がルビーの三世王の死を嗅ぎつけ、連中がどう動き出そうとしているのか予想もつきません。さらにアーデンの後継と目される娘エルザは伝説のムール・エンジェ三姉妹の再来と
I've seen the reincarnation of two sisters.
の名にかけてここは一歩も引けませんぞ。
Also received reports that the mercenaries from their former Hazan nation under our employer fled.
もともとかの国は忍び魔術の達人ぞ。特に女の忍びたちは新たに森の奥深くに広大な城を作ったと聞いております。
However, as that country is full of massive shinobi magic, I've heard that the female shinobi have built a new stronghold deep in the forest.
女たちを先導しているのはデラと申す者。そして娘のタリアには特に注意が必要かと。何しろ
Talia with MP regen is great, by the way.
過酷な任務を強要されてきた一族ゆえ、女の忍びたちは自由のブリガンダインを掲げ。
Brigandine of Freedom? Okay, cool.
正の国家をことごとく転覆させようと企てているようでございます。グスタファ神聖帝国。
As for the Gustave Empire,
までもなく、我が国はもちろん他国への侵略もかなり強引に推し進めております。
as you are already aware, they have invaded our country. However, they are also pushing hard into other countries as
ご
well.
存知のように、かの帝国には我が国をはじめとする国々と違ってブリガンダインが一度としてもたらされたことがありません。
Yet, unlike other countries similar to ours, the Empire has never once been in possession of their own
グス
Brigandine.
タフ一族というかつて我が国を追われた騎士の末裔どもが君臨する専制国家。
The Gustavs are an autocratic family descended from the knights who were long ago exiled from our country.
現在皇帝の位置にあるのがティム・グスタフという一族の中でも年少の者。
However, the current Emperor Tim Gustav is the youngest member of the family. Hi,
背
Valkos.
の多い一族の連中を束ねるために
Not literally, but
何が何でも
metaphorically.
ブリガンダインを手に入れそのご意向にすがりたいというのが本音でありましょう。
In order to control a group of such misfits, he plans to obtain a Brigandine and use its power to rein them in.
王子あのような国にブリガンダインが渡ったら我らの正義は地に落ちましょうぞ
Your Grace, if a country like that were to get their hands on a Brigandine, our justice will lose all meaning.
マナサリージア法王国
Next, you have the Mount Silesia
あの
Theocracy.
ロマヌフ法王が何かの悪霊に取りつかれたとしか言いようがありません
Many believe that the only explanation for their actions is that Holy Sovereign Romanov has been possessed by an evil spirit.
ご存知のように法王はルーン信仰において財派の擁護者
As you know, the Holy Sovereign is an advocate for the Zai sect of the
我が
Rune
国
faith.
はモハナ派の流れを組んでおりますがこれまで異なった流派が衝突するまでに至らなかったのはひとえに法王の懐の深さゆえ
We may follow the teachings of the Mohana sect here, but there hasn't been a direct conflict between the two sects, mostly due to the Holy Sovereign's great
とこ
wisdom.
ろがここに来て法王の息子で警察師団長のルドは突然放棄したと
However, Rudo, the Holy Sovereign's son and chief of police, recently tried to incite a
高
revolt.
潔のブリガンダインを掲げ全世界を己の財派で統一しようと目論んでおるようです
Basically, he's crusading.
王子我らの正義をもって何としても愚かな野心を叩き伏せねばなりませぬ 我がノーザリオから
There's one more nation that we must not ignore, even if they are on the far side of the continent. It's Scalio! No.
ミレルバ諸島連邦所詮海賊どもが集まって出来上がった国我が国のように開国の祖アデッサ様のような強力な指導者のもと
It's
に
a
生ま
kingdom
れ
made
た
of
国ではあり
pirates.
ません今ではステラとかいう海賊の末裔がいいように島々を動かしているとか
Woman named Stella leading the
まさに
country.
身勝手な自我のブリガンダインを地で行くようなもの
She's
で
the
ござい
embodiment of
ま
the
す
vanity that Brigandine Vigo represents. Let's demonstrate the difference between their conceit and true power. Got it.
わかったご苦労様でしたグラドス将軍
Organization phase. So first, we don't want to hear that again. She's a project knight. He's... Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually need all 6 of them. So you guys are going to be my C team. He has heal. That's all that matters. He's a healer. He can heal. I can summon unicorns here. I may have been an idiot. This is what you get for not reading. Yes. Oh, that just switches the Rune Knight. That's not ideal. I want it to switch where they are on the list. These two are going to get Frost, and they're going to be really powerful. So my top 3 armies. So I am now going to quest Klaus to the plains of Delza because he's got a chance for 3 out of 4 arrows or chevrons. I'm going to quest Theodora for XP. I'm going to quest Ferric for XP. I'm going to quest this guy to the training grounds and get some XPs. So I should have 6 knights staying there, 3 knights staying here. We'll see what they do here. This is absolutely not enough to defend that castle. And we'll see if Gustav stays. If he does, this is going to be an epic battle. Right off the bat. It'll be like, A-team, A-team, let's go. I mean, what about, for instance, Knight? Okay, I can handle a Knight. Hunter, Sylvie, I like Sylvie. I like her a lot. She's very powerful. Hi, Lizard Man. I can check equipment. Bino has a silver sword, justice, breeding, and wisdom helm. Grados is a paladin, he can heal. He's got a judgment. Iron Aura doesn't seem to cost anything. No cost MP. Divine Rays and heals, baby. Let's go. White robe. Nobody's sneakily bogarting equipment, right? Good. She gets an orb. All right, let's start this. Oh, Gustav stuck around. Would you look at that? He wants his ass beat. He has the damage to make this a difficult fight. Don't get me wrong. He really does have a lot of damage on his field. He's also got 4 ghouls that are doing him whatever good ghouls do. The demon chicks, especially the archdemon, that's going to be a problem. The Bahamut is going to be a hassle, yo. How agile is this thing? Double move. Does it say evasion anywhere? AGI 104. You're going to be a nuisance. Corwin, yeah, they buffed up. I kind of rather bait them to attack me. They have no heals. Come on, my army's super weak. I promise you'll beat me. Notice how I can send all 6 to attack. I'm going to take a short break here. Unlike typical streams, that doesn't mean this is going to be the end of an episode. Far from it. I'm just intermissioning for a second. All right. We're back. I'm sorry I didn't capture anything in the intermission. But let me pour myself a little more tea. Now, because this is early in the game and we mostly have level 1 mobs, it's pretty okay to take some casualties. You don't want to lose anything good. You want to eliminate what's good of theirs, but, you know, you make do. Play. Invasion. Norzaleo has invaded Warren. This is what the battle's gonna be. I love that they kept the introductory music. Okay. We want Grados, Giu, and Rubino in no particular order.
Rubino 4世待っていたぞこの時を我がグスタファ神聖帝国がノーザリオの歴史に幕を下ろそう
Tim's talking shit, because people talk shit before battles. He's saying that he's been waiting for this moment. That he's like, Rubino, I've been waiting for this moment. The Holy Gustavo Empire will put an end to Norzaleo once and for all.
ティム・グスタフ。いつも
Timu Gustav.
正義なき者に訪れるのは敗北。
History has shown us time and again that the only thing that awaiting those without justice on their side is defeat.
お前たちはブリガンダインを持つゆえに自らの正義を疑わぬ。我らは持たぬゆえ真理を見据える瞳を得た。大陸は人間が自らの瞳と力で滑るべきものなのだ。
You only believe in your justice because you possess a Brigandine. The fact that we have none has allowed us to see the truth. Runersia should be ruled by those who understand their own strengths.
このブリガンダインは我らノーザリオの真実。守り続けてきた正義の歴史に近い。ティム・グスタフ、お前を撃つ。
Oh, it's gonna be funny every time he calls him Timu Gustav.
真理を書く正義。我らゾアルーンの騎士が審判を下す。行くぞ。
Come at my blade. The Zorarun Knights will bring justice down upon your false justice. Okay, sure. Okay, lots of game information. Pay attention to it because it's actually important, like, to think about terrain, right? So, like, prairies, plains are good. Roads boost mobility, at least they used to in Grand Edition. I don't know if they still do. Forests are good for certain units to be in and bad for certain other units to be in. Same thing with bridges and water. River is hard to cross. Bridge is where you can cross that, but, you know, you gotta think. You gotta think where you're setting your defenses up. So, like, one thing you could do if you're in Tim's situation is you could defend the castle, which is what I've generally programmed them to do. I've programmed them to guard the castle hex. If they do that well, I won't be able to get on the castle and sit on it for 12 turns. Because the castle hex is very useful. It heals your units, and it's if the enemy is on that at the end of turn 12, the enemy wins the game. But you can make an argument for setting up a defense along the river, and that would protect the castle hex. So there's things you can do, right? You're not trapped to any one play style depending on your circumstances. Me, I'm advancing my armies. First, we're going to map out how far my units can actually move. When you mouse over a unit, it'll show you how far they can move. So, if my giant snake can only get up to about here, I don't want the rest of my army outrunning my giant snake. Does that make sense? I hope it does. You kind of have to mentally just plan for where your units are going to end up. So they're going to end up at this hex here. So, move. I'm going to check that one more time. This thing can move 4. So it's moving out to here. Right. Now you'll notice how my units are out of the blue area of control that the Rune Knight gives them. That's fine, as long as they don't end the turn there, it's fine. I'm not putting my Paladin on the second line, he's staying on the third line, so he's staying on the third line. You can go in the second line. You can also go in the second line. You can stay in the fourth line with the healers. Fuck. No. Why can't I move you? That's weird. Notice how I'm forming my units as immediately as I can into an organized formation. And now this guy, oh, this guy's slower than I thought he was? Okay, that's an irritation. So I have a small imperfection. What do? Don't sweat about it. Take your time. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Watch what the enemy does. Notice how Tim goes right to the castle hex and defends around it? What? No, AI, don't put a Rune Knight in the front lines. Now, if you got an army that's moving last, you can think of them as moving first in the next round of your movements. So Rubino moves last, right? But he can move a little further ahead than the rest of his squads because he's going to need to get there, right? He's going to be coming in late.
敵を侮るな。慎重に。
Also, if your knight is defeated, the entire squad leaves. If your ruler is defeated, the entire army leaves. At least that's how it was in Grand Edition, so. We can go out to here. Again, I want Grados in the third row. And yes, it takes time to advance. I know that's a not the most fun part of this game. But you want to make your advance as patient as you can so that you don't accidentally misplace your military. Right? Because nobody wants that. I'm going to check something real quick. So, a level 1 giant snake, instead of a level 1 Hydra, which is what we have in Grand Edition, only has a breath range of 3. This guy's kind of like a flank guard, right? He's my DPS on the wings. Now, she's got 500 HP. She's got Divine Ray. She kind of needs to be in the second row to deal her maximum magic damage. I'll trust her in the second row. Especially because if I look at it real quick, he does not have a lot of ranged weapons that can hit me in the second row. Gonna sit right there. Good. Good! You're learning. So even if I position here, I'm out of my Thunder Dragon's breath range. That's assuming they let me across the bridge. So now I have to picture where my army's going to be next turn, right? I want this dragon right here, so that I can exchange breath weapons with this dragon or anything that comes near it. Why am I doing that to myself? I'm hoping to lure them into breaking formation and charging me. If they do that, that's a mistake. They should just line up and be like, oh, there's an enemy I can breath, I'm gonna breath. And that's all I'm gonna do. Because then the next turn I can close in with Rubino and be like, oh, hi guys, time for your southeastern flank to fall apart because you've got fucking ghouls guarding it. So I'm gonna be here. This unit is very slow, and it's kind of annoying me. But it's also like a last-ditch flanker. I'm willing to put Rubino kind of up close because they're not going to come get him. If they did, that would be suicide. Zone of control is important to understand. Being enchained is important to understand. You don't want to get surrounded. You can't go through territory that is adjacent to an enemy. This isn't Baldur's Gate where you get attacks of opportunity. This is Brigandine where you get not opportunity attacked.
承知した。
I'm curious. I can't park my unit in the river, but I can cross the river with it. So I'm going to set up a defensive perimeter here. I'm also going to stack up my centaurs right behind my front line so that they can shoot. Bring my little protect spell guy in. I parked Grados one unit too far back. It's okay because he can still heal the guy I need him to heal. And this person should be able to protect almost anybody. Now, I'm parking this Sea Serpent on the water because it gets 20% accuracy, 20% evasion. Yeah. By the way, I am not unaware of the fact that this Bahamut has a breath weapon, and it is going to use that breath weapon to hit this giant and this centaur. It's just going to happen. I just kind of have to accept that's going to happen. Yes, I've kind of created an opening for Geo on the front line. But there's only one tile anyone can get to, and that's controlled by these two units. So effectively, no enemy can get here easily unless it's already adjacent here and moves in. And if it did, it would be enchained. That would be a really bad play. I kind of want them to do that. Didn't hit the centaur? That's interesting. Come on. You know you want to. Really? You don't? Okay, well, if that's what you really want, or don't want. Remember how I said you could save anywhere? Save data 3. Battle. So if I lose this battle, I can save scum. Basically is what that means. My healers are always 3 tiles in range of each other. Now the question is, do I want to start breathing them now? Or do I want to advance in and breath them? What's Tim's abilities? Cross Slash, Blinding Dominance, Ranged, Blinding Demon Blade 1 to 2. Paralyzed, that's bad actually. And he's got Dimension, which he will probably try to use, Venom, and Gravity. Now, one thing you don't want to do, if you can avoid it, is have your monster walk up and melee something while out of the blue, because then you take the penalties. Right? We discussed the penalties. You don't want to end your turn there. You don't want to act out there either. Let's get that straight. The problem is...
者どもよ、我に続け。
I'll move here. No, I won't. How aggressive do I want to be? That's my question. How aggressive do I want to be? Because I don't know if I'm finishing this battle, this play session, because I do have, like I said at the start, physical therapy, but... I could just start bashing. Grados has 779 HP. He could take a beating. There's not that much that they've got at range that can range them. I mean, like, the Dragon Breath, fine. The Mandrake can spit. I think level 1 Mandrakes can spit. Numb Powder. That's annoying, but not dangerous. 1 Dragon Breath and Tim. Where's their... Their Archdemon is way in the back. Their demon is way in the back. I can put my units on the front line and start dealing damage without too much danger. This is risky, but I feel confident with this risk. Now, next lesson. You want to get the most out of your elemental affinities, right? So this dragon, I can have him dragon. Well, he doesn't have drag. He has 1 red dot, but this attack doesn't have red dot. It does have. It gives an advantage. Red beats green, which beats blue, which beats red again. Keep that in mind. So by attacking a green monster with a red monster, I'm getting an advantage. First of all, the Mandrake doesn't have perfect accuracy. It might miss. It does have a crit. It could crit me and paralyze me, but like, okay. And I'm going to deal roughly 99 to it, while it's only going to deal 75 to me. Winning trade. Oh, Protect only has a range of 3 in this? I guess it always had a range of 3. Hey, get over here. I'm a little cramped for space. I have you. Now you notice how I only have a 6% chance to hit this thing? That's because it is very evasive. I do not want to melee that until I've got that taken care of. Until that is taken care of, that is not a target for me. Just so I know, a chance to hit this is 68. That's not bad. It's not great. A chance to hit this is better, almost certain, and it's not going to hurt me very much to hurt it back. So the decision is, where do I want to place this unit? How much am I going to hurt it? 86, 136 HP. Is pretty good, actually, when you think about it. But I'm going to need my breath weapons to get through and beat up on this, and this is what I'm after. So you know what? Diversionary attack. Let's go. Crit 165. 90 back. Not great. Not great. Not terrible. Oh, shit. Well, I hit it. I did not mean to do that, but I hit it. You can see how a low-level unit hitting a high-level unit will get you experience quick. Normally I say concentrate on a single target. I could have my centaur go here and just kind of have to deal with this melee shit. Couple of ghouls trying to melee it. I can easily just have him go here, hit a ghoul, deal some damage to the ghoul, get some XP for that, and be on its way. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water serpent and I'm going to attack the dragon. Why? Because water beats fire. So his attack on me is going to be weaker, my attack on him is going to be stronger. Although he did crit me, so that sucks. Now I want to point out what I've just done here. I've got two breath weapons right next to each other. One can go 1, 2, 3. The other can go 1, 2, 3. So I can get a blue breath weapon on 2 fire creatures, dealing incredible damage. Or I can get a breath weapon on a difficult to hit unit. Breath weapons automatically hit. And one of their knights and one of their demons, which will actually really hurt their defenses a lot. So you can see how I'm sort of creating those overlapping fields of fire I mentioned in my battle formation video. I'm doing that. That is what is happening here. You're just going to be slow into combat. That's fine. Now, I am looking here to see what's vulnerable. And yes, I am vulnerable to this Bahamut. I will be vulnerable to the Bahamut. That's a disadvantage. But I have heals. And I will be in Divine Ray position. So I can start nuking the shibit out of them. Is it worth it? That's another story. Or I could play more conservatively and heal units. Area heal is 120 power. It's got a range of 2. So it's not helpful to me. Got it. So I'm going in. I know it'll be breath attacked. I'm okay with that fact. Should have protected, but try to remember to protect when this turn starts instead of when the turn ends. Just a thought. Okay, beat me up. If I get poisoned a lot, that's a problem. That archdemon is a threat. Status effects, read that. Oh boy. That's bad. Oh no. That's really bad. I didn't mean for that to happen. Notice how they took their entire turn and downed one of my mobs? What'd they just do, though? Okay, that's really unfortunate, actually. That's my alarm. I want to see if I can get him to kill, but I doubt that. Kill the centaur. I've got a few options. I could breath down this way, or I could breath Tim and his mobs. Breath isn't super effective. This isn't gonna do much. Well, that's one less enemy dragon. Alright, I'm going to take a break here. Because I do have to get going. Real life calls. Save state 4. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. If you appreciate this episode, please do hit the like, share, subscribe, friend, follow, or whatever buttons. Links to Discords and whatnot, Brigandine community and personal in the description. Thank you all so much for joining me, and as always on this channel, pieces. I didn't end stream, did I? Oops.